absolutely gorgeous night at the home of the Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series. We welcome you to Washington, Pennsylvania, and this is it, folks. The Final Four has been established, and the result of our 2 games tonight will let us know who plays for that championship tomorrow. So far, our 10 teams that began on Friday, we're down to 4. 2 remain undefeated: San Bernardino and Chinese Taipei, who we'll see here momentarily. They're both 2-0. Puerto Rico 3-1. Hagerstown of Maryland, the East Zone champion, is 2-1. We welcome you back on our continuing coverage here on MLB.com. I'm Tony Caridi. Thanks so much for being with us. And so the scene is set here. This is going to be a very good matchup. I think a lot of people that have been watching this tournament since last Friday have seen the power in the bats of Puerto Rico and the great discipline and the timely hitting that this Chinese Taipei squad has shown us. First off today, let's take a look at Puerto Rico. In action earlier today against Bay County, Michigan. Going long distance is Eric Rivera, crashing a grand slam home run to end that game on the 10-run rule. And as far as Chinese Taipei goes, as we said earlier on, they come into this tournament field with a great deal of tradition. They have played strong fundamental baseball, and they also have shown the ability to hit the long ball. In their last outing, watch this guy right here, going long distance. That is two-way hung. He not only won the home run hitting derby contest in our competition, which began back on Saturday, he not only showed he can do it in exhibition play, he can do it in true game action as well. So the scene is set. Hot hitting Puerto Rico, well-disciplined Chinese Taipei. Right now, let's meet the lineups. Here's public address announcer Bob Gregg.
Good evening and welcome to Tuesday night at the 2015 Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series. Tonight, sponsored by Washington Financial Bank. Tonight is Division Championship night and Military Appreciation night here at the Pony League World Series. Our first Division Championship game features unbeaten Chinese Taipei, the Asia Pacific Zone champions, taking on once beaten Mayaguez, Puerto Rico, winners of the Caribbean Zone. By coin flip, Mayaguez will be the visiting team, and let's meet the squad from Puerto Rico. Leading off and pitching, number 22, Kenan Irizarry. Batting second and playing third base, number 23, Kendrick Crespo. Batting third and catching, number 62, Gabriel Rivera. Batting fourth, left fielder, number 15, Eric Rivera. Batting fifth and playing center field, number 11, Hofnell Rivera. Batting sixth, the shortstop, number 24, Odrick Petre. Batting seventh and playing first base, number 4, Dylan Gonzalez. Batting eighth and playing second base, number 3, Brian Soto. Batting ninth, playing right field, number 9, Leon Corchado. Number 1, Josuan Lugo. Number 12, Joseph Ramos. Number 13, Sebastian Valentin. Number 20, Paul Rivera. Number 28, Kenneth Fulch. Number 48, Anthony Martir. Coach Joel Rivera. Coach Elliot Ramos. Manager Juan Petre. Caribbean Zone champion Mayaguez, Puerto Rico. And now for the Asia Pacific Zone champion Chinese Taipei. Leading off and playing shortstop, number 1, Chao Shi-che. Batting second and playing second base, number 13, Yu Wen-sun. Batting third and playing right field, number 11, Ho Yi-lung. Batting fourth and catching, number 2, Tu Wei-hung. Batting fifth, the left fielder, number 7, Lee Chong-chen. Batting sixth, playing third base, number 10, Lin Chun-on. Batting seventh and playing first base, number 15, Chen Fong. Batting eighth and pitching, number 6, Su Jo-si. Batting ninth and playing center field, number 8, Lan Huai-chen. Number 3, Chiu Yu Lun. Number 4, Fu Shi Chie. Number 5, Chiu Xian Xiong. Number 9, Wu Chi Lung. Number 12, Wang Yi Kai. Number 14, Li Huasheng. Lo Qian Min, Cheng Chi Fan, and the manager, Wang Wei Chi. Chinese Taipei, the Asia Pacific Zone champions. On our Military Appreciation Night, our umpires, all Army and Air Force veterans. At home plate, veteran of the United States Air Force, Joe Weir. At first base, veteran of the United States Army, Brian Gillespie. At second base, United States Air Force veteran, Bob Schleiden. And at third base, a Navy veteran, Jim Plakitis. Decisions Committee, Terry Faust, Tom O'Connor, and U.S. Marine Corps veteran, Dick Witt. At this time, we ask that you all rise for the Pony Prayer and our national anthems. Gentlemen and boys, please remove your hats. Thank you to all veterans and active duty members of the United States Armed Forces for your service. We invite you to render a hand salute during the Star-Spangled Banner. Almighty God, help us to realize that we are gathered here to watch young people play baseball, not to second-guess strategy, dispute decisions, or questionability. That we are here to cheer, to encourage, and to join in the fun that is baseball, not to jeer, discourage, or otherwise degrade the game. That while officials and players are expected to perform within the bounds of certain standards, we also, as spectators, are expected to conduct ourselves within the bounds of good sportsmanship. May this contest end without injury, without feelings of ill will, without disgrace, but as an activity worthy of thy blessing. Amen.
ready to go. Puerto Rico and Chinese Taipei. Let's turn it over to the voice of the World Series, Mark Uriah.
Back here at Lou Hayes Pony Field in Washington Park, Mayagüez, Puerto Rico, and Chinese Taipei, game 15 of the 2015 Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series. Nice, relatively cool evening, at least cool compared to what we would normally expect in mid-late August.
Eric Rivera being awarded his home run trophy ball from the walk-off home run earlier in the day, the Grand Slam walk-off winner.
Chinese Taipei has taken the field, and they will start Suzhou Si, a right-hander who has yet to pitch in this year's Pony League World Series. And boy, that speaks to your pitching depth when you can get to this point in the series and have enough confidence in a pitcher that has yet to see the mound. And Sue will face this lineup for Mayagüez, Puerto Rico. Kenan Irizarry leads off. He is the starting pitcher tonight. Kendrick Crespo bats second. He's at third base. Gabriel Rivera in the number 3 spot. He's behind the plate. Cleanup hitter is left fielder Eric Rivera, batting 5th in center field. Hafnel Rivera. Number 6 hitter is shortstop Odric Petre. Dylan Gonzalez bats 7th. He's at first base. Brian Soto, the number 8 hitter, is at second base. And Leon Corchado in right field bats 9th.
Cheng Chen, Wei Chen, Yi Lun in the outfield from left to right. On the infield, Lin Chun Un, Chao Si Che at shortstop, Yo Wen Hun at second base, Chen Feng at first, and Tu Wei Hung is behind the plate.
It is Military Appreciation Night here tonight, and our 4 umpires, all veterans of the armed forces. Joe Weir, an Air Force veteran. Jim Plakitis, the third base umpire, veteran of the U.S. Navy. Bob Schleiden, another Air Force veteran. He is at second base. And Brian Gillespie, Army veteran, is our first base umpire.
And I talked to the crew earlier. 3 of these 4 gentlemen have served overseas. Brian Gillespie was in Afghanistan in 2004. Bob Schleiden, Lieutenant Colonel retired, was in Germany back in the 80s. Joe Weir, who's the home plate umpire from the Air Force Senior Airman, was in Japan in the late 50s, early 60s.
Kenan Irizarry heading toward home plate.
By the way, the other umpire, you mentioned Jim at first base. He was taking some ribbing because he pretty much was, he's from the Navy. An E3 in the Navy, stationed pretty much in the Caribbean during his tour in the armed forces.
So they're worried that he's going to favor Puerto Rico tonight? Is that,
No. Just that he had an easier, I guess, stint than the other 3.
First pitch to Irizarry. He fouls a fastball straight back.
Have you ever won a raffle?
Yes, long time ago. Won many years ago. Yes.
Every year I've watched you pull out the money for the raffle. I never asked you before if you'd won.
Well, it's first of all, it's always great to, whether you contribute at the concession stand, one strike pitch comes in, misses high and outside, evens the count at 1. Just another way to support the World Series.
Right.
You throw $1 in, and
See, for me, it's the burgers and the ice cream.
That's okay. There are many ways to contribute. Irizarry is 6 for 12 in the series.
He scored 7 runs, stolen 3 bases.
1 homer, 3 RBIs, ahead in the count here, 2 balls and a strike. Yeah, I did win one many years ago. Again, my first Pony League World Series broadcasting was '84. I'm going to guess it was prior to 1990. 2-1 pitch.
Ball.
Misses downstairs. Just underway, game 15 of the Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series. Chinese Taipei with a chance to go to the championship game if they win this game tonight. Puerto Rico hoping to force another meeting between these 2 teams tomorrow morning. High fly ball down the left field line. Nice play by Li Cheng Chen over in foul territory to make the catch.
Boy, once you suffer a loss in the early couple of days, the road to the championship becomes so much more difficult because of that. In this case, Chinese Taipei, if Mayagüez, Puerto Rico wants to get to the championship game. the Puerto Ricans have to beat Chinese Taipei back-to-back.
Well, and also with the compressed schedule that they've gone to the last couple of years, as Kendrick Crespo steps in, takes a breaking ball high and outside. Crespo is 8 for 12 in the series with 8 runs driven in. With the compressed schedule now, there are times where you're going to be. They've played. This is their second game of the day. Should they win tonight, they could potentially play 2 games tomorrow. 1-0 pitch comes in, fouled off, out of play. People scattering in the stands on the third base side. That ball was hit hard, but it's difficult both mentally and physically. But I think more than anything else, you have to have great pitching and great pitching depth to be able to get through that and keep winning ball games. 1 ball, 1 strike to Crespo. Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Sue. Crespo a little out in front and swinging over top of that one. Stretch by the right-hander, Sue, and the pitch. Another breaking ball, another swing and a miss. Strikeout of Crespo, second out of the inning.
But that ball, those last 2 pitches reacted like they might be fork balls.
A lot of sink to them. It's funny, and I hear broadcasters talking, in particular the Pirates broadcasters. Steve Blass, I think in particular, talks about different names for the same pitch, basically, over the years, how some pitches get just on the replay, we can just say that one sunk a lot. It really dropped a lot as it got to the plate to Crespo. First pitch misses to Gabriel Rivera. Rivera 4 for 9 in the series. 2 home runs, 7 runs batted in. Hits one high and out of play, first base side. Well, and there was a time when there was a lot of negative talk about pitchers this young throwing breaking balls and maybe damaging their arms. Some would tell you that they should not throw breaking balls till they get a little bit older and mature a little bit more physically. Called strike to Rivera. Of course, now you hear that's why the sudden spike in Tommy John surgery, not so much because of that, but because kids specialize in sports so much. 1-2 pitch, foul tipped. Some kids who choose to play baseball and nothing but baseball all year round. And you hear a lot of executives tell young athletes, play all different sports. You don't have to play baseball all year round. Neil Huntington in particular says they look for guys that are quote unquote athletes that will play football, basketball, other sports in addition to baseball. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, misses down and away.
Yeah, two-way hung. The catcher set up way outside. Was trying to get Gabriel Rivera to chase a breaking ball away. See if he comes with that. Well, looked like it was a fork ball. Let's see if he throws that same pitch here, 2-2.
There it is, and it's chopped to third, foul.
That seemed to be a little bit more of a bender than what we had seen with a strikeout of Crespo. Hey, what we did see earlier today is that we saw a good number of right-handed batters be victimized from left-handed pitchers with sharp breaking balls down and in.
You want to thank Nate Rigotti for sitting in this afternoon as well with you, Lanny.
I enjoyed being with Nate.
One of your prize students.
He is indeed.
2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Fastball on the outside corner. 1-2-3 in the top of the first with a couple of strikeouts for Sue. We've played half an inning. Mayaguez, Puerto Rico, nothing, and Chinese Taipei coming to bat.
Mom, I'm bored.
Boy, what are we going to do this weekend?
When the family's fun meter runs down, recharge in Washington County. We've got something for everyone. Indoors, outdoors, history, sports, gaming, fun. Visit WashingtonCountyPA.com to get started and share the energy.
What a great day that was.
Let's do it again.
How about next weekend?
Yes.
Horse around at the Washington County Agricultural Fair, August 14th through the 22nd at the Washington County Fairgrounds.
HotelPlanner.com is #1 in group travel, offering free event planning services. Book like the pros. Book with HotelPlanner.com.
We've had an outstanding tournament here in Washington, Pennsylvania. The activity began back on Friday, and just some fantastic still photos that have been taken of the competition. Teammates in celebration, friendships that are made. Despite perhaps some language differences, the smiles tell it all. All part of our Pony League World Series. Now let's head back upstairs to Mark.
Chinese Taipei comes to bat here in the bottom of the first inning. No score in the ball game. It's Division Championship night, Military Appreciation night here at Lou Hayes Pony Field. With ID, active, retired military personnel and reserves can get 4 free tickets here at Lou Hayes Pony Field. Kenan Irizarry on the hill for Mayaguez, Puerto Rico. He's pitched 2 2/3 inning in this series, and it came in the first meeting between these two teams. And he will face this batting order for Chinese Taipei. Chao Shi-che leads off. He's the shortstop. Yu Wen-sun bats second and plays second. Ho Yi-lung, the right fielder, bats third. Tu Wei-hung, the catcher, in the cleanup position. Li Cheng-chen in left field bats fifth. Lin Chun-en, the third baseman, bats sixth. Chen Feng bats seventh. He's at first base. Suzhou Si, the pitcher, bats eighth. And Lon Huai Chen bats ninth. He is in center field. First pitch to Chao, shows bunt, pulls back, takes a strike.
Defensively, Eric Rivera and Hofnel Rivera left and center, respectively. Leon Corchado in right field, and Crespo at third, Petrie at shortstop, Soto and Gonzalez on the right side. Gabriel Rivera catching.
Chao is 2 for 6 in the series. 1 ball, 1 strike to him. Corner infielders looking for the bunt. The 1-1 pitch. Off speed, just missed outside. Rivera held it there for a moment. Joe Weir says no. Irizarry into the windup, his 2-1. And a strike, fastball at the letters. Count even at 2 to Chao Shi-che leading off the bottom of the first inning. Irizarry winds and delivers. Grounded foul, first base side.
Ball well in on the hands of Chao.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Irizarry looks into Gabriel Rivera for the sign, now delivers. Misses high with the fastball off the glove of Rivera. Probably as much breeze as we've had any day here at the series so far. Blowing out to left field. Well, again, the flag's in right center, not moving at all. 3-2 pitch. That one lifted foul, will get out of play down the left field line. Championship game tomorrow night at 7:30. See that locally on Pittsburgh CW. Lanny will be calling the play-by-play. 3-2 breaking ball, misses high and outside. Leadoff walk for Chao. And that game also will be streamed at MLB.com, as every game has been during the Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series. Great job by the folks at Pikewood Sports.
Oh, outstanding work.
Yu Wen-sun, the batter, left-handed hitting second baseman. He bunts it third base side. Crespo charges, looks at second and throws it out into right center field. Chao will head to third, and Yu stops at second. Now Chao being waved home. Here's the throw up the line, and sliding in safely is Chao. Yu ends up at third base. Rivera might have had a play on Chao, but did not catch the ball. I think it was going to be so close. He tried to make the catch of the throw and the tag all in one motion, and just didn't come up with the ball.
Well, in my opinion, the big mistake is that the bunt is there. Take the out, okay? It was bunted in such a way, and it might have been a borderline call at second base, but take the out at first base and don't cause yourself all this problem. And here you go, runner at third, 1-0 ball game. Infield's got to play in early. And the ball went out of play, so it's 2 runs are being scored. The umpire has conferred. Ball went out of play on the throw to the plate. The batter runner was already at second base, which permits him to score.
So an E8 to allow you to score. 2 errors on the play, especially this early in the ball game, Lanny. You like you say, take the out, give up the base. Fastball fouled straight back by Ho Yi-Lung.
I would assume that's also a sacrifice for.
That is correct, yes. Yi 3 for 6 in this series, 1 home run, 4 runs driven in. Irizarry winds and delivers. Lined but foul. Right over the head of the third base coach for Chinese Taipei. He had to react quickly. So 2-0 for Chinese Taipei here. First 2 batters coming around on a play that involved 2 errors on really a simple bunt by Yu Wen-sun. Two-strike pitch, lifted foul and out of play. That's why managers really at all levels will just talk about making the plays defensively that you need to make, and don't beat yourself. You can, you'll win a lot of games simply by not beating yourself.
Oh, yes, indeed. And one other point I want to make after this pitch.
Another 0-2. Ho lines that into center field. Rivera has it go over his head as he tried to reach up and make the grab. And stopping at second base with a double is Ho Yi-Lung.
The one possibility is that the third baseman may have been told by the catcher to throw to second base. That's very often the play. In baseball, you don't say second base, you say 2-2-2. But nevertheless, take the out. It was there. Take the out. They didn't, and it cost him dearly.
Two-way Hung, the catcher, to bat now. Ho at second base, nobody out, bottom of the first inning. Two takes a fastball in the dirt, Rivera blocking it. 2 is 2 for 3 in the series, 2 runs scored, 1 home run, 3 runs batted in. Right-handed batter against the righty Kenan Irizarry. 1-0 pitch. Strike at the knees on the outside part of the plate. Good breaking ball from Irizarry.
And remember, game 1 of this tournament, Houston, Texas against Maguas, Puerto Rico. Houston scored 4 runs in its first inning. Resilient Puerto Rico came back and won 17-4.
Well, they can certainly hit and score runs. There's no question about that. 1-1 pitch grounded foul, third base side.
And we're going to have activity in the left field corner.
Well, elimination game. If you're Puerto Rico, you play this like it's the, the 7th game of a playoff series. You got to, if you make moves, we talked about this last night. Better to make them too soon than too late. Stretch by Irizarry. 1-2 pitch. 2 again, chops it foul, third base side.
And Paul Rivera warming up. Another thing to point out, Irizarry, when he's not pitched, or in this case he is pitching, he played third base for Puerto Rico.
1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, hit down the third base line again. This one a foul ball, but much closer to being a fair ball than any of the previous pitches that he's fouled off. Chao Shi-che started the inning with a walk. Yu Wen-sun bunted to the third base side. Kendrick Crespo threw the ball out into right center field. Chao came all the way around to score. Then a throwing error on the ball to the plate allowed Yu to score. And then a double by Ho Yi-Lung. He is at second base. Now the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. 2 down on strikes. It's the first out of the inning. Lee Cheng-chen, the batter now, left fielder. Lee 1 for 5 in the series. Right-handed batter with Ho at second base. And here Asari with a breaking ball, got away from him, hits Lee in the back. So runners at first and second with 1 out now for Lin Chun-en, the third baseman. He is 4 for 5 in the series with 4 runs batted in. And we'll get a visit to the mound for Mike West, Puerto Rico.
Talking about hit batsman, Eric Rivera of Puerto Rico, who will lead off the second inning, has been hit by 5 pitches during the competition. 5 pitches in 4 games. Of course, he made the opposition pay the price big time with that walk-off grand slam in the 5th inning of the ball game earlier today.
You know, I got a number a couple of days ago that we had already had 26 batters hit in this series, and it's probably gone up by 4 or 5 since then.
Was it last year or the year before we had so many home runs? We were cataloging the...
It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Yes. 50 was the number, I'm told by Bob Gregg. The number came down a little bit last year. I think it was around 40.
Hey, by the way, have you ever doubted how smart I am?
Never.
No, well, if you ever do, just think about it. I moved into a new house yesterday. I left my sweetheart there today. I'm doing 4 games of the Pony League World Series while she takes care of the house. How about that for smart?
Incredibly smart. Breaking ball for a called strike. You'd have worked harder if you'd have been at home, guaranteed.
Oh, no question about when Bob Gregg said, hey, can you do these 4 games on the 11th? You got it. I'll be there.
You said yes before he even finished asking you, didn't you? 1 strike to Lynn. He strokes one into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Hafnel Rivera up with it, and the runner Ho will be held at third. Bases loaded with 1 out, with 2 runs already in here in the bottom of the first for Chinese Taipei. Chen Feng, the first baseman, to bat. He is 1 for 5 in the series.
Well, the pressure's on Irisay here, Irisari to pick up his teammates. He can, if he comes up with big pitches, minimize the damage for Puerto Rico.
Shows bunt early, then pulls back and takes a strike.
Must be taking all the way. I wouldn't suspect that the bunt could be in order with the bases loaded.
Well, we've seen Chinese Taipei try to use the suicide squeeze twice, once successfully and once not. Maybe you want to get an idea of what Puerto Rico was going to do defensively. Ball hit sharply to the third baseman. Crespo has trouble picking it up, steps on the bag at third, throws to first, not in time. He likely would have come home had he fielded that cleanly, but unable to do that. He at least did the wise thing. He stepped on the bag, got 1 out, but a run scores to make it 3-0.
Well, I understand these are 13, 14, and 15-year-olds, but there's a ground ball that should have been an inning-ending double play. And the way you suggested, 5-2-3. Third to home to first.
So Ho scores from third to make it 3-0. Lin to second. Chen at first. And now Hugh Josai, the pitcher, fouls one off to the right side, out of play. He appeared in last night's game, but did not bat. 1 strike pitch in the dirt. Good block by Rivera. Two down in the inning, but 3 in for Chinese Taipei. 1-1 pitch, roller up the first base line. It's going to stay fair. Picking it up is Rivera. Throw to first. in time to get the out. Good throw to the fair side of the line. And Su is retired. Chinese Taipei with 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning on 2 hits, 2 errors, and 2 left on after 1 here at the Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series. Chinese Taipei leading Mayaguez Puerto Rico 3-0.
We've been in your community since 1808. We've stood by your side covering the news of the day. We've been here for the important times in your life. We've celebrated with you. We're proud to have delivered the latest in local, regional, and national news in Washington, Greene, and southern Allegheny counties. We'll be here for the next phase of your life with our print and online editions. The Observer Reporter, life delivered daily.
Chinese Taipei takes a 3-0 lead as they took advantage of 2 Puerto Rican errors in the frame. 2-run score on an overthrow. Chinese Taipei adds on another run. And Chinese Taipei, you know, as we said coming in, very fundamentally sound team. And it's not so much what you have to do, it's the mistakes that the other team makes. And Puerto Rico, with 2 errors, finds itself now down 3-0. Now let's go back upstairs to Mark.
Good start for Chinese Taipei with 3 runs in the first inning. But as you mentioned in the last half inning, Lanny, we have seen Mayaguez Puerto Rico come back from a larger deficit than this.
And Rivera, 7 RBIs. He's had 14 plate appearances in this tournament and has been retired only 4 times. Hits, hit batsman, walks.
That is Eric Rivera. 3 straight Rivera's in the batting order for Mayaguez. Eric swings and misses at a breaking ball from Suzhou Sai.
Earlier today, we had all 3 on base. We had the bases loaded with Rivera's.
And as you said, game 1, none of them are related.
That's what I was told.
The right-hander Su with the stretch in the 1-strike pitch. Another breaking ball called strike. Suzhou Sai ahead of Eric Rivera. No balls, 2 strikes here. Rivera leading off the top of the second inning for Mayaguez Puerto Rico. With catcher 2 setting up way outside.
Way off the plate indeed.
Su did what he was supposed to do, hit the target, but Rivera had to see that out of the corner of his eye and was not even tempted to offer it that pitch. 1-2, breaking ball in the dirt. Two balls, 2 strikes. Su with the stretch and the pitch. Grounded foul, first base side. Well, just another beautiful day and evening for baseball. Another game to follow after this, with the championship game tomorrow night at 7:30. Center fielder Lan Huai Chen being shifted over toward right. A lot of room in left center for Eric Rivera as he waits on a 2-2 pitch. Just missed the outside edge to the catcher. Held it there for a long time.
Well, here was Su out in front, 0-2, told to waste a pitch way off the plate. He did, and now he's 3-2.
Payoff pitch, breaking ball, and just getting the end of the bat on it was Rivera to foul it off. Glad to have you along, those of you listening on 1450 AM, WJPA Washington, online, WJPA.com, and video streaming at MLB.com with Pikewood Sports. Ball loose down the third base line, and
I understand Paul Alexander was here the other day.
Yes, I believe it was Sunday he was here.
Good.
Tony had a prior commitment. Another 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses high.
There you
walk.
go. I don't understand why waste an 0-2 pitch so far off the plate to a number 4 hitter.
Exactly. That was the key. So far off the plate. You certainly you want to throw something that's a ball, but something that will tempt the hitter. And that was right where he put it right where 2 wanted it. Pitch misses outside to Hafnel Rivera. He's 6 for 12 in the series, 1 home run, 7 runs driven in. Right-handed hitting center fielder for Mayaguez, Puerto Rico. Suzhou Sai, the right-hander for Chinese Taipei, with the 1-0 pitch. Fastball just below the letters on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. Eric Rivera leading from first. Sue looks that way, now delivers. Curveball hit the third, waiting on the second hop is Lin. Goes to second for 1, throw to first, will not be in time. Chinese Taipei does get the lead runner, Eric Rivera. Hafnel Rivera on the fielder's choice on it, first with 1 out.
And Lin had to play it the way he did. He had to back off on the ball. He had an in-between hop and didn't rush it. Said, I'll just take the out at second base, and did so well.
Odrick Petre to bat. Left-handed hitting shortstop. He is 3 for 11 in the series. He has scored 8 runs, and he does have 1 home run and 3 runs batted in.
Now, Petre has been hitting higher in the batting order in the previous games, down to the 6th spot today.
Yeah, mostly second, if I remember correctly.
With Arasari leading off.
First pitch misses outside. Folks still coming in here to Lou Hayes Pony Field. Sue stepping off to chase Hafnel Rivera back at first base. One ball, no strikes. Sue delivers. Swing and a miss. Good high fastball there from Sue. (3-0) Chinese Taipei leads. We're in the top of the second inning. Sue delivers. Another fastball for a called strike. This one down in the zone. Bench for Mayaguez, trying to get some life here into their offense. Called strike 3, breaking ball, the opposite of what you talked about, Lanny. This time the breaking ball from the right-handed pitcher in on the left-handed batter.
And even if Petre had been attempting to swing the bat, there's very little he could do with it. He would have been forced to get the handle of the bat out much quicker than you normally do. It was a great pitch, great location.
2 outs, runner at first. Dylan Gonzalez, the batter. Left-handed hitting first baseman. He chops one foul, first base side. Had a grand slam in the opening ball game for Mayaguez. He is 3 for 11 in the series. Mentioned the 1 home run and the 4 RBIs. He's also scored 4 runs. Sue with the stretch and the pitch. Missing way outside and low, but again, to the catcher. Late jumping out, wanting that pitch outside.
All dictated from the dugout, which is directly behind home plate.
Talked about how that is more difficult for the catchers. 1-1 pitch is chopped to short, and making the play is Chow. He'll go to you at second base and get the out there on the force. a walk, and 1 left on. We've played an inning and a half here at the Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series. And Mayaguez, Puerto Rico trailing Chinese Taipei 3-0.
Most kids around here, and seeing them pregnant, smoking, having guns in their hands, just makes you think how lucky I am that I had Harlem Lacrosse to save me. We all have that one common goal, which is to win, to work together, to have fun. I want to go to college for lacrosse. I want to play for an Ivy League school.
Chinese Taipei getting ready to come to the plate. They lead it 3-0. We head into the bottom half of our second inning of play. Chinese Taipei took the lead in this contest in the bottom half of the first inning, and they took advantage of some throwing errors on the part of this Puerto Rican team. Not only one, but actually two. You see the ball there, gets away from the catcher, and as a result of that sequence, the ball was ruled out of play. That allowed a second base runner to be granted home plate. That made it 2-0. Chinese Taipei would add another, and right now they're on top 3-2, or 3-0 I should say, off of 2 base hits, and 2 errors to this point committed on that one play by Mayaguez, Puerto Rico. Now back upstairs to Lanny and Mark Uriah.
We have some changes here for Mayaguez, Puerto Rico as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Chinese Taipei with a 3-0 lead. To get those changes to you as quickly as we can. Ken and Irizarry still in there pitching.
Corchado.
Lan Huai Chen, the number 9 hitter, center fielder, leads it off here.
Corchado moved to third. Is that what I heard?
First pitch misses upstairs. We'll get the changes now. Now there's still some confusion about that, so we'll hold off. First pitch to Lon missed. Now he shows bunt, pulls back, and takes a strike. Kendrick Crespo is at second base. Brian Soto has moved from second to right. So I've got 2 of the 3. Ball lined right into the glove. Great leaping catch by Dylan Gonzalez, who was playing in for the first out of the inning.
Crespo moves to second. Soto moves to right. And Corchado moves to third.
So the players are the same, just 3 positional changes. Chao Shi-che walked and scored, steps in here with 1 out, takes a high breaking ball.
Yeah, same play, same actors, just different roles. And Crespo moved off the hot corner after his errant throw from the first inning.
Irizarry with the 1-0 pitch. Chao takes a strike. High breaking ball, evens the count at 1. Right-hander Kenan Irizarry winds and delivers the 1-1 pitch. This is outside. Two balls and a strike. Chao Shi-che waits as Irizarry delivers. Ball skied into center field. Hafnel Rivera started to his left, now backs up just shy of the track and makes the catch. So 2 outs, bases empty for Yu Wen Sun. Had a sacrifice bunt his first time up, and things kind of came apart for Mayaguez, Puerto Rico on that play. Crespo, who was at third, threw the ball wildly into right center field. Chao, who was at first, came all the way around to score. And a ball ripped into right field. A 2-out single for Yu Wen Sun.
Sun did a great job of getting his hands out in front quickly to deal with a pitch that was up and in. Not way in, but good job.
And just to complete that play that happened in the first inning when Yu bunted, he ended up at third, and then because the ball went out of play, he came in to score. Ho Yi-lung, the batter, he doubled and scored in the first. Pitch in the dirt, skips away from Rivera, and Yu will take second base on a wild pitch. One ball, no strikes. Irisari stretches and delivers. Breaking ball outside corner, called strike. Good pitch there. You singled with 2 outs, took second on a wild pitch. Now a 1-1 pitch. And again in the dirt, skips away from Rivera. He recovers, throws to third, but not in time. 2 wild pitches moving Yu Wen Sun from first to third. Fake throw from Irisari over to third, and it got Yu's attention. He scrambled back. 2 balls and a strike to Ho. That ball chopped. Nice backhanded play by Corchado at third. Throws to first and dug out by Dylan Gonzalez. Great play at third base by Leon Corchado to retire Ho and Chinese Taipei in the bottom of the second inning. A hit, a runner left on. We'll go to the third here at the Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series. Chinese Taipei leading Mayaguez Puerto Rico 3-0.
Do you want to go to the movies?
No, not again.
When the family's
I have an
fun
idea.
meter runs down, recharge in Washington County. We've got something for everyone. Indoors, outdoors, history, sports, gaming, fun. Visit WashingtonCountyPA.com to get started and share the energy.
Next time, let's take the grandkids.
Tap into the fun at the Corks and Kegs Festival, August 22nd and 23rd at the Meadows Casino.
The pole is second. Wait, where's third? There.
St. Danny.
Theo, left. Shut down on 3 and run out to your position.
1, 2, 3. Goes on 3. Amen. Let's play ball. Left.
Flat.
That's 5. That's 3. That's 2.
However you play ball, play ball. Go to playball.org to find out more.
3-0 Chinese Taipei as we head into the top half of the third inning. You may be wondering, what are the dimensions of Pony League Baseball? Well, specifically this field, 250 down the lines, 305 to deep center field. Pitcher's mound to home plate is 54 feet, so 6 inches shorter than a regulation field, and your base paths are 80 feet long. 3-0 Chinese Taipei on top.
We head to the third inning here at Lou Hayes Pony Field in Washington Park. The 2015 Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series here on WJPA. Mayaguez, Puerto Rico comes to bat, trailing Chinese Taipei 3-0. And for the middle innings of this ball game, here's Lanny for Terry.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. Brian Soto to lead off his first plate appearance of the game. Soto 4 for 8 in the Pony League World Series with a home run and 2 RBIs. Started the game at second base, then moved to right field in the bottom of the second inning. First pitch of the third in for a called strike. Earlier today, Mayaguez, Puerto Rico beat Bay County, Michigan, moving Mayaguez, Puerto Rico into this game tonight. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ball bunted, and a foul ball up the third base line. And the count's 0-2. Also earlier today, Hagerstown beat Mazatlan, Mexico 4-2. Hagerstown will take on San Bernardino, California in the 8 o'clock game this evening. If Chinese Taipei wins here, it will be propelled into the championship game slated for 7:30 tomorrow night. If Mayaguez Puerto Rico were to win this game, these two teams would meet again tomorrow at 10. Double elimination tournament. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and a pitch down and away, and 4 strikeouts for Su. Been watching the Chinese Taipei team, and of course everybody knows that as we get ready for Corchado to step in, everybody knows that soon after Abner Doubleday invented baseball, that they started this tradition where the first baseman between innings rolls balls across the infield to the third baseman, to the shortstop, to the second baseman. Here's the pitch now to Corchado, in for a called strike. Well, the Chinese Taipei team, they not only have their first baseman rolling balls across the infield and accepting throws, but they have a bench player that stands about 10 feet up the right field line to give the infielders some more chances to throw between innings. Ball fouled away 0-2. Corchado in the number 9 spot of the batting order. 3-0. Chinese Taipei leads. And Mayaguez Puerto Rico lost to Chinese Taipei on Saturday. Su Josie with the next pitch. Way off the plate. There's that 0-2 fastball outside. And I'm not talking about just outside. I'm talking about way outside. One-two pitch. And popped out of play. 4 strikeouts for Su.
You know, as a batter, obviously, if the catcher sees you maybe looking down trying to steal signs, they'll take the defensive team will certainly take offense to that, and or if you even might be looking to where the target might be. But when you move as far out as 2 has moved out on a couple of occasions, it's hard to miss that.
Ground ball to short, kicking off the body of Chow, the shortstop. Ball was trundled to the shortstop and not handled. Corchado safe at first base.
It's going to be an error charge to Chow. I mean, the ball came up on him a little bit, but it appeared as though he had enough time to react and make the play.
Out of the top of the Mayaguez menu. And Irizarry, left-handed batter, 0 for 1 in this ball game, 6 for 13 in the tournament. 3-0. Chinese Taipei leads. Corchado at first, 1 out. And Mayaguez Puerto Rico still looking for its first base hit. Pitch inside, ball 1.
Just got word that was the first error of the series for Chinese Taipei. I think we talked about it earlier. You'll win a lot of games if you don't beat yourself.
Su's next pitch, bouncing ball 2 hopper to the second baseman. Yu to the shortstop. Chow for 1 on to first, safe. So the force out at second base, the second out of the inning. Irizarry safe at first. And now Kendrick Crespo. Crespo struck out his first time up. It is 3-0 Chinese Taipei, scoring 3 runs on 2 hits and taking advantage of 2 Mayaguez Puerto Rico errors. And Su's pitch, strike on the outside corner. Outfield straightaway. Irizarry, the runner at first. He does have 3 stolen bases in the tournament. He has scored 7 runs. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Crespo a little bit over anxious there in a pitch that was up and out. And a step off by Su Josie. All right, now the right-hander set again. Comes set at the shoulders. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball down and away. The strikeout ends the inning. And Su Josie has 5 strikeouts in the game. In the inning, no runs, no hits, an error, 1 left. Middle of the third. Chinese Taipei 3. Mayaguez Puerto Rico, nothing.
St. Denny. Theo, left. Shut down on 3 and run out to your position. 1, 2, 3. Goes on 3.
Amen. Let's play ball. Flat.
Flat.
That's 5. That's 3. That's 2.
However you play ball, play ball. Go to playball.org to find out more.
Military Appreciation Night taking place here at the Pony League World Series. Chinese Taipei on top 3-0, about to come to bat in the bottom half of the third. Well, Chinese Taipei did not have to play earlier today like Puerto Rico did. So what did they do with their time? Well, they hit it. They took a visit to Dick's Sporting Goods, our name sponsor of this Pony League World Series. And I'll tell you what, that is the classic case of a kid in a candy store right there. Pirates jerseys are heading back home along with some other great looking gear. And obviously, shopping, never so fun. Part of the Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series. 3-0, Chinese Taipei try to build on that lead.
Changes for Mayaguez, Puerto Rico. The starting pitcher, Kenan Arisari, moves to third base. Paul Rivera is now pitching and put Rivera in the 9th spot of the batting order. So for Arisari, he pitches 2 innings, gives up 3 runs, 1 earned, and it's 3-0 Chinese Taipei. And Tu-Wei Hung will lead off the bottom of the third.
One walk, 1 strikeout, 1 hit batter for Irisari in his 2 innings of work.
Couple of wild pitches. And a called strike on Tu-Wei Hung. 2 for 4 in the tournament with a home run.
Paul Rivera, 1 scoreless inning of relief in the series with a couple of strikeouts.
Now the right-hander's 1 strike pitch. Low and inside. Joe Weir, the home plate umpire. It's a good crew. Joe from Ross Township, senior airman in the Air Force. Mentioned earlier, Joe went over to Japan in the late 50s and early 60s on Military Appreciation Night at the Pony League World Series.
Yeah, Joe's here pretty much every year, and we know why.
1-1 pitch. Foul ball. Color guard presentation between games. And that foul ball came off the lower leg or ankle of Tu-Wei Hung. So we got a break here to hope the pain will subside as quickly as possible. Well, we've had 21 times in the history of this great tournament that a team from California has won the championship. 21 times, that's top of the list. And California's got a shot at making it 22.
Okay.
California's San Bernardino against Hagerstown, Maryland. There's never been a team from the state of Maryland to win the Pony League World Series.
Boy, Tu wears that protective guard on his front foot. The ankle, I should say, on his front leg, and it looked like it just missed that. But he's all right.
All right, back in, leading off the bottom of the third, 3-0 Chinese Taipei, and now time is called. Well, 7 times a team from Puerto Rico has won the Pony League World Series. That's second on the all-time list. Chinese Taipei has won 6. And here are Puerto Rico and Chinese Taipei matched up.
I don't think Rivera liked that very much, that Tu stepped out just as he was ready to go into his windup.
1-2 pitch. Breaking ball inside.
The other note about Rivera, his 1 inning of work was in the first game of the series, the win by Mayaguez over Houston, Texas.
And we're down to 4 teams, 6 of the 10 eliminated. 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Two-way hung the first out of the inning. Rivera striked out the first batter he faced. Well, gone from the tournament. Team from Houston, Texas. Teams from Washington, Pennsylvania, Johnstown, PA, Vienna, Austria, Bay County, Michigan, Mazatlan, Mexico. Now Lin Cheng-chun ready to step in. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning. And 3 runs by Chinese Taipei in the first inning. A walk, sacrifice, errant throw off the bunt. RBI, or excuse me, the 2 runs scored after the throw from the third baseman sailed into right center, and then the center fielder's throw ended up going out of play. And then a double later in the inning, a force play RBI.
Well, Lanny, you talked about like a splitter or a forkball grip there for Rivera. I mean, that puts you in mind of Elroy Face.
Or, and you were talking about the change in terminology. Bruce Sutter always called it a split-fingered fastball. I mean, Elroy Face, here's the 1-ball pitch in for a strike. Elroy Face had great fingers to deal with the forkball. These young men, 13, 14, 15 years of age, able to wedge that ball in between their second and third fingers. Between the index and middle fingers. 1-1 pitch. He is inside 2-1. Very often when someone throws a forkball or a split-fingered fastball, they'll go into the glove and they will have it set that way, and then they'll get the sign if they're going away from it. Then they'll go to the other pitch. 2-1 pitch. Strike call, 2-2. The fear is that if you start with a fastball grip and then you go in to wedge the ball between your fingers, that you'll flare your glove and you'll tip off the pitch.
Well, Rivera not being
doing
secret.
that.
Anybody in the ballpark that looks can see that.
Well, but he starts with the ball by his hip. Then he goes into the glove. So he's going to start with the forkball grip. Then he's going to go into the glove to determine whether he's going to stay with that grip or the fastball. And the count is 3-2 on Li Cheng-chun.
And that is a pitch that typically dives, if I'm not mistaken. And so you could be the batter, maybe you know it's coming. It's still very difficult to hit.
Ball fouled back, 3-2. As I said, it's necessary for you to start with the forkball grip and then change in your glove. If you do it the other way, you'll flare your glove. You'll do something that's going to tip off the pitch. 3-0. Chinese Taipei leads. And Rivera taking some time getting the sign, but some of it due to the fact that there's the need to look around the umpire and find out what the dugout wants. Pitch inside. So Li Cheng-chun draws the base on balls, 1 on and 1 out. And next up, Lin Chun-un, who singled in the first inning.
You were talking about looking at the dugout, Lanny, and that's something that I was thinking about a couple of innings ago, and then we had the third out and get a chance to talk about it a little bit more here.
That's been going on in baseball for maybe 20 years or so. The calling of pitches and the calling of pitch outs, throws to first, and step offs from the dugout, necessitating that extra time for the catcher to find out what the dugout wants. Runner going. Swing and a miss. Throw to second base. Stolen base for Li Cheng-chun. Runner at second base, 1 out.
Well, it's difficult for the catchers to look into the dugouts here because the dugouts are right behind home plate, not up and down the baselines like you often see in
not
most
parallel to the lines.
Right. Well, that's one of the things when Abe Key was here yesterday. He and I were talking about things that may be in the future for the series or improvements to the facility. That's one of the things he was talking about that they may do is extend the dugouts.
And the 1-strike pitch. Ball hit in the air to center field. Straight away center, and it is off the wall. The ball bounces back towards the infield. Lee Cheng-chung scores from second base. And Lin Chun-un's double. Straightaway center field, and Chinese Taipei is in front 4-0 in the third inning.
First of all, the ball almost got out of here, but great effort by Hafnel Rivera. He made a leaping effort at the fence, and you can't fault him here. It would have been a spectacular catch had he been able to come up with it. But I think he maybe had another foot or two between himself and the fence than he realized. But you're trying to get back there and keep your eye on that ball and find the fence and then time your jump all at the same time. And he gave it a good effort, but the ball just beyond his reach.
So they are thinking about, we got a timeout here from translator coming out. You're saying they're thinking about extending the dugouts.
It's something they're considering. It's not something that is definitely in the planning stages at this point. But I think it's, they're just looking at different things, possibility, ways to improve the facility. And I think that's one thing they want to do, maybe make them a little larger, a little bit more room for each team. And I guess there's a little bit of room where maybe you could angle them out as opposed to being straight behind home plate. There's another look on the internet broadcast. Great effort there by Rivera. He just missed coming up with that ball up against the fence.
And a pinch hitter, Wang Yi Kai, is stepping in. Left-handed batter, runner at second base, 4-0 Chinese Taipei in front. Paul Rivera has already thrown 14 pitches. Ball strike coming on here in the third after Kenan Arizari worked 2 innings, gave up 3 runs, 1 earned run. And the spark for each of the run-scoring innings for Chinese Taipei, a base on balls. Coming set and then stepping off is Rivera.
Long 1-for-1 in the series.
Ball hit the opposite way, and a foul ball that is out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. And the inning started with two-way Hung rather striking out, and then a walk and a stolen base and a double off the center field fence. And the 0-2 pitch is outside. Right-hander set again, checks the runner at second. 1-2 pitch. Ground ball to the left side, handled by third baseman Arizari, cutting across the infield. Good play. Second out is recorded, and Lin Chun-hun stays at second base.
Really nice play on the short hop there.
Su Josie, the 8th batter in the Chinese Taipei lineup, and the pitcher 0-for-1. 4-0 Chinese Taipei leads Mayagüez, Puerto Rico. Ground ball right at the shortstop. Pitre. Throw to first base. Off the mark, and first baseman Gonzalez tried to go and get the ball and come back before the batter runner got there. Didn't happen. So on an E6, Su Josie safe at first, and Lin Chun-un is on at third.
Well, that ball got to Petre in a hurry. He had plenty of time to make the play. And Gonzalez off the bag and could not get back to it in time.
Error number 3 charged to Puerto Rico.
Key situation here, and again, talk about beating yourself, Lanny. If you're Mayaguez, you should be out of the inning here, and you give an extra out, and Chinese Taipei with a chance to add on to their 4-0 lead.
Number of things that are possibly happening here. Could be a settle down meeting, or it could be the discussion about what they're going to do. First and third double steal possibility with 2 outs should Chinese Taipei try to steal a run here, but from the way the coach is reacting, I have a feeling that it's not a settle down meeting. It's kind of like get your act together.
Yeah, it looks like a motivational speech.
And not from the Dale Carnegie book. While the outfielders check their socks. And here we go. 4-0 Chinese Taipei leading. Remember, if Chinese Taipei wins, it goes into the championship game tomorrow night against either San Bernardino, California, or Hagerstown, Maryland. If Mayaguez, Puerto Rico wins, there'll be an if necessary game at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Now the signals from the catcher indicating what the catcher plans to do should Suzhou C run from first base. And the right-hander Rivera's pitch way outside. The infielders need to know if the catcher plans to throw to second base. If he doesn't, then the middle infielder shouldn't move on the pitch. Am I hearing what I think I'm hearing?
You are, and
we will rock you. Here's the 1-ball pitch, strike call in the outside corner.
Nate Rigotti was as amused by that as you are, man.
Must be a Waynesburg University thing, huh? I wonder if they know Hey Jude. Runners at first and third, 2 down, 4-0 in favor of Chinese Taipei.
Their parents probably know it.
And a throw to first base. The inning started with a strikeout, a walk, a stolen base, RBI double, ground out E6. After a very vile first inning. Vile from Puerto Rico's standpoint, swing and a miss on a pitch away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And this right-hander, Paul Rivera, has faced 6 batters in this inning, 22 pitches. I'd run here from first base. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. There he goes. Line shot to left field, base hit, scores Lin Chun-un to make it 5-0. Throw to third, sliding in safely is Suzhou C, and into second base, Lun Hun-wei Chen. An RBI single, the runner takes second on the throw, and it's 5-0 Chinese Taipei.
Well, starting the runner not only gets Su to second base, but that forced the throw to third, and behind that throw, Lon taking second.
And to the top of the batting order, Chao Shi-che. 0 for 1 plus a walk and a run scored. Rivera's pitch. Fly ball down the right field line. If it's a fair ball, it's a home run, and it's well up on the hillside. Chao Shi-che has hit a 3-run homer, and Chinese Taipei is in front 8-0 in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
That ball was hit about as far as any home run I have ever seen to right field here. Chow just jumps on it, and I'm not sure if that got over the blue fence way beyond. I mean, it's close.
Third home run hit by Chinese Taipei in the 2015 Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series. And now Yu Wen-sun, who is 1 for 1, takes a pitch high, ball 1, and there'll be some activity down in the left field corner for Mike West, Puerto Rico. We'll get that baseball for that young man. Pony League World Series folks will retrieve the ball from a fan to present near home plate. Called strike, 1-1.
That one might be hard to find.
One ball, one strike. 5 runs scored in this inning. A liner to center field. Yu Wen-sun gets his second hit, on base for the 3rd time, and the 9th batter of the inning, Ho Yi-young, who doubled in the first and then was retired on a real fine play in the 2nd inning. And we're going to have a timeout here at another conference at the mound. 8-0 Chinese Taipei leads. And remember, in Pony League Baseball, the 10-run rule is in effect, but the trailing team must get a 5th at bat. So there are at least 2 more chances for Puerto Rico to get back in the game. That is also considering whether Chinese Taipei was able to tack on a couple of more runs over the next inning or so.
And I hate to go back to it, but the error with 2 outs allowed the run, the inning to continue, and at that time it was 4-0, and now Chinese Taipei has doubled that margin.
So of the 8 runs scored by Chinese Taipei, just 2 earned runs.
That's what I have, yes.
And Leon Corchado is going to re-enter. This is Corchado, the player that played 5 positions over the weekend, and is going to come on to pitch for Paul Rivera, working to 8 batters, retiring 2, giving up 4 hits, including a 3-run homer. Struck out 1, walked 1.
Sorry, Lanny. This is likely a straight change because Paul Rivera came into the number 9 spot, which was Corchado's spot. So him coming back in has to come back in that same spot. So I would assume just a straight change there.
Three runs for Chinese Taipei in the first inning on 2 hits. There were 2 Lagos, Puerto Rico errors in the inning, in this inning. Because of an error, 4 of the 5 runs scored are unearned. It is 5 runs on 4 hits in the inning. And coming up, Oye Lun, right-hander against right-hander. Don't forget, second game of tonight's doubleheader and our 4th game of the day, San Bernardino, California, against Hagerstown, Maryland. Oye Lung has the runner Lu Wen-hun at first. Corchado's pitch, called strike. Runner at first bluffed. Chinese Taipei beat Mayagüez 6-2 on Saturday and defeated Bay County, Michigan 10-0 yesterday. And here it is, 8-0 Chinese Taipei, batting in the bottom of the 3rd. Pitch low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Good job by Rivera, the catcher Gabriel Rivera, to block that pitch.
Chao Shi-che throwing for Chinese Taipei in the bullpen, and he pitched the final inning against Bay County Red last night.
Puerto throws to first. Diving back ahead of the play is Yu. Yu was airborne for a couple of seconds as he lunged back safely. Eight-zip Chinese Taipei. Guys in blue living up to their song. They did indeed rock them. Bouncing ball down the third base line. Yu on his way to third. Here's the throw into third, and Yu is safe. It is a single for Hu. First and third, and the 10th man to bat of the inning will be Two-Way Hung.
Eric Rivera did everything he could down in left field, but the speed of Yu beat the play. Other than maybe charging the ball a little bit more, might have been able to save a step or so, but throw was right on the money.
Two-Way Hung 0 for 2, has struck out twice, 2 for 5 in the tournament. Eight nothing Chinese Taipei in front. First pitch to 2 is a strike. Five runs in this inning on 5 hits. 0-1 pitch, low and away, well blocked again by Rivera. Well, the inning started with the Two-Way Hung striking out, but then Rivera walked a batter. A double and an error really opened it up. 3-run homer by Chao-Si-Che. 1-1 pitch. Ground ball left side. Diving stop by Pedre from his knees. He throws the ball out into right field. A run scores to make it 9-0. And Ho Yi Wang goes on to third. Now the ball kicks to the center of the infield. Another run scores. It is 10-0 Chinese Taipei.
Boy, it is all coming apart here for Mayaguez, Puerto Rico. It is a single for 2, and then going to be 2 more errors charged on the play. And 2 will get an RBI for bringing home Yu.
So it's 10-0 Chinese Taipei. We're going to get a runner at second base.
It's Fu Shi-Che for Ho, the right fielder.
You mean for 2, right? 2 at
Oh,
second.
I'm sorry. Yes, my mistake.
All right, here's Li Ching-chen. Takes a pitch down low, ball 1. So we've got the E6 that allowed that second run of the mess up. Seven runs in the inning. 6 unearned. 1-ball pitch down low, 2-0. Still trying to sort it all out, are the official scoring committee.
Trying to get the second error. The first one was on Pedre on the throw. That was to allow the second run to score.
And here's an attempt at a pickoff. The ball almost went out in center field.
Then there was a second error that allowed 2 to get to second base.
And to let that second run of the play score. So 3 errors in the inning. 5 errors against Mayaguez, Puerto Rico called strike. And while this has all been going on, and because Chinese Taipei has been batting for so long, maybe you've forgotten that on the other side of the totals, Mayaguez, Puerto Rico does not have a base hit through 3 innings. A couple of base runners, but no base hits. Look at those totals. 10-8-1 for Chinese Taipei, 0-0-5 for Puerto Rico. Pitch up and away, 3 balls and 1 strike. Seemed like this inning started soon after daybreak. And here it is, almost sundown. 3 balls and a strike, runner at second, 2 outs. 3-1 pitch from Corchado is outside. 11 batters in the inning. And only 2 have been retired. Now Lin Chun-un, who is 2 for 2 with an RBI and is 6 for 7 in the tournament. It's 10-0 in the bottom of the third. We're going to have another meeting and maybe another couple of changes. The 10-run rule needs to be carried into the 5th inning. And if it were 10-0 after 4.5, then that would be the victory for Chinese Taipei. And Chinese Taipei beat Bay County 10-0 yesterday. Here comes the left-hander for Mayaguez, Puerto Rico, Kenneth Fulch.
So he will be the 4th pitcher of the game for Mayaguez.
And Corchado faced 3 batters, gave up 2 hits, walked 1. 6 runs charged to Paul Rivera. And now 1 to Corchado, though he's still responsible for the 2 guys on base.
I know.
And a catching change. Fultz has his own personal catcher, Valentin.
I know they, of course, now is a good time to do it. I know a lot of times in the truck they don't like when the guys on the air ask for something, but the reason
You've done enough television to know that.
Well,
huh?
no, I've heard enough TV guys say that. But they're in trying to get the official scoring correct. They were asking if we could get a replay of the base hit by 2 or the 2-run score. They're looking to see where the second error was charged.
Will you ask the truck if they could replay or show the play again where the throw went out into right field and 2 runs scored? We wanted the official score wants to double check, make sure we get the errors right. Okay, Megan Bales, one of our students from Waynesburg University, who's our stage manager here in the broadcast booth. She's going to talk to the truck about that. And
So-
now we got Valentin behind the plate. Oh, I'm sorry, it was not a change. Excuse me. Thank you. No, Rivera's going to stay in there.
So I'm guessing you've probably got an earful from the truck on a time or 2 in your life.
Oh yeah, but we was always something the other way too, where the truck never listens to the announcers.
We are going to get it here eventually.
All right, runners at first and second. 10-0 Chinese Taipei. And Fultz's pitch. Fly ball right field. Edge of the warning track now coming in a couple of steps. Soto makes the grab, and that's it in the 3rd inning. 7 runs on 6 hits, 3 errors, 2 left on base. And at the end of 3, it's Chinese Taipei 10, Puerto Rico nothing.
Mom, I'm bored.
Boy, what are we going to do this weekend?
When the family's fun meter runs down, recharge in Washington County. We've got something for everyone. Indoors, outdoors, history, sports, gaming, fun. Visit WashingtonCountyPA.com to get started and share the energy.
What a great day that was.
Let's do it again.
How about next weekend?
Yes.
Horse around at the West Alexander Fair, September 7th through 12th at the fairgrounds in West Alexander.
Hey, last night was a special night here at the Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series. Yes, it was mascot night, and mascots from around the area, including the beloved Pirate Parrot, were in attendance. How about that for a group shot? The Colonial of Robert Morris and the Steelers mascot, California University of PA. It was great. Penn State's mascot here as well, plus the Hilltoppers of West Liberty. They were represented in who? could not smile at the smiley cookie from Eaton Park. All right, our score here now. What an inning for Chinese Taipei. They score 7 runs, now lead it 10-0, and the error total now for Puerto Rico has climbed to 5 errors. How about this home run? It's the longest blast of our World Series. This is Chao Shi Che, a 3-run homer, as you can see, that goes all the way back to the second fence. Now that's 250 down the line. That boy's had at least 350 plus on it. Now back to the guys.
All right, set for the top of the 4th inning. And a lot of work to be done by Puerto Rico if it wishes to avoid being losers in 5 innings. Gabriel Rivera, the batter, takes a strike on the outside corner. Suzhou Si, the right-hander for Chinese Taipei, has not given up a run or a hit.
And Two-Way Hung, the catcher, re-enters. They ran for him in the last half inning, but he re-enters behind the plate.
Ground ball to third, and the ball bounces down the left field line under the glove of Lin Chun-un. So Gabriel Rivera is aboard.
Going to get the replay here on the play that we had asked for. The first error was the throw by Pitre.
The shortstop. And the right fielder throws the ball in. The ball kicks to the center of the infield. And that's when the second run of that play scores. So it's E9 then, right?
That's correct.
Thank you, Truck, is the word from our colleagues down the press box. By the way, that last play was scored in E5. So Maguas, Puerto Rico still looking for its first base hit. Eric Rivera takes a strike on the outside corner. Rivera walked his first time up in this game. Earlier today, he hit a grand slam, a walk-off grand slam in the 5th inning. 1-2 pitch. Foul ball back out of play. The 2015 Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series. Been a spectacular day. Suzhou Si has his sign from catcher Two-Way Hung, and the pitch is outside. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner at first, nobody out. The batter stepped out to double check the count with Joe Weir, the home plate umpire. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Rivera, the first out of the 4th inning. And Suzhou Si has 6 strikeouts. 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, 1 in the 4th.
High heat there to get the strikeout.
Opnel Rivera bounced to a force play in the 2nd inning, is 6 for 13 in the tournament. It's an explosive Maguas offense that has been quieted by the right-hander Su. Outside ball 1.
You know, it's something you talked about earlier, Lanny, how important it is to stay in the winner's bracket. I think that's what we're seeing here tonight. Chinese Taipei has had to use fewer pitchers.
Ball pop, right field, foul ball down the line, and a basket catch just outside the line by first baseman Chen Feng. Chen Feng gets the second out of the 4th inning. Pretty creative way to do it. Went towards the fencing, and ball, the natural tendency of the ball to spin back towards the field. Catch made. That'll bring up Odrick Pitre.
And I think Puerto Rico just has had to go deeper into their pitching depth, and we're seeing the result of that.
Yeah, well, you have Chinese Taipei playing just its 3rd game of the tournament, and game number 5 for Puerto Rico. Runner at first, 2 down, 1 strike pitch is outside. 10-0 Chinese Taipei on top of Puerto Rico. Time called. There has not been a Mayaguez player in scoring position in this game so far. 1-1 pitch. He is up high. And the 2-1 pitch. Called strike 2-2. One on, 2 outs. Suzhou dominating here. Swing and a miss. That ends the inning. No runs, no hits. An error and 1 left on base. 7 strikeouts for Suzhou. Middle of the 4th inning. It is Chinese Taipei 10, Puerto Rico nothing.
This is Adam Jones, center fielder for the Baltimore Orioles. When he's not playing baseball, he's watching baseball. When he's not watching baseball,
watch him run.
He's reading about baseball.
I'm going to nasty.
When he's not reading about baseball, he's listening to baseball.
I don't know how I would pitch that.
And when he's not listening to baseball, he's playing baseball. MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball.
Ready for the bottom of the 4th inning. Chinese Taipei leading 10-0. You were kidding earlier about how the guys in the bulletproof truck, that's what we always called it, the bulletproof truck down, the producer, director, that, you know, the reason they never liked that when announcers say, can you show us that, is because they didn't want to admit to the announcers they didn't have it. And then the other thing, of course, is we always would kid the producer and the director and the other technicians in the truck that they never listened to the announcers, that they'd be guilty of asking questions in our headsets about something we had just said 2 minutes before. So,
well, I've been guilty of that sometimes. You're concentrating on something else. You're not listening to what your partner's saying, and then you repeat the same thing. I did that to Nate the other day, and he gave me a look. And as soon as he looked at me,
that's okay.
I knew what he meant.
He did that to me earlier today. So,
but as soon as he looked at me, I knew. I said, "You just said that, didn't you?"
You know, I had a game at the end of a road trip in Los Angeles one day, and I was sitting there looking at Steve Blass, or maybe it was Bob. I think it was Bob Walk, and I was sitting there and I was staring at him. I was looking right at him. And then I realized that I have no idea what he just said. And I said on the air, I said, Bob, I'm looking at you, but I don't know what you said. Please repeat that.
That's the safe way to go, isn't it? But nobody wants to hear that, right?
Well, the truth hurts. All right, here we go with Chen Feng to lead off the bottom of the 4th inning. And at this point, one more chance for Mayaguez to extend the game. If Mayaguez does not come up with a run in the 5th inning, that is providing the Chinese Taipei doesn't score here. The game would be over by way of the 10-run rule. Swinging a foul back, strike 1. First base umpire for this ball game is Brian Gillespie, who was a sergeant in the Army, stationed in Afghanistan in 2004. He's from Houston, Pennsylvania, on Military Appreciation Night. 1 strike pitch. High and inside, 1-1. By the way, for the coverage of the Pony League World Series, there is not a bulletproof truck. The technicians and the crew and all the equipment are in Moose's office. 1-1 pitch. Down low, 2 balls and 1 strike. And on television, they're showing the folks who are tuned in on MajorLeagueBaseball.com. It is in that brick building. There's a 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 2-2. It is in the penthouse of that building where Moose normally is sequestered by himself.
And that's Dan Brown, who's a great guy. And I'm curious. I'll have to ask Bob how he feels about his office being taken over.
Ball popped out of play. Not only that, but you know, the free food and the free drinks, they're for everybody.
Well, he'll like that part of it.
No, but I think he's the one providing the food.
I see.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 4th inning, 10-0 Chinese Taipei.
We've got a second look a while ago at the Chao Shi-Che home run. We'll talk about that here in just a moment.
Here's the 2-2 pitch, called strike 3, 1 out, bottom of the 4th inning. And that'll bring up Suzhou with a pitch that struck out Cheng Feng outside part of the plate. According to Joe Weir, the home plate umpire, knee high. We're in the 4th inning, 10-0 Chinese Taipei. And the pitch to Su. That floats in there for a strike. You're going to say something about the home run?
Yeah, folks who are in this area who are familiar with Lou Hayes Pony Field and the area here, there is a service road that runs a gate that gets you onto a service road that will run you down behind center field.
Fly ball to center field. Up now Rivera, step in front of the track, makes the catch, 2 outs.
And the home run by Chao hit right in I think it hit on the inside of that gate, but it didn't miss getting beyond that second fence. There's on the MLB web streaming, they get a look at that gate, and now they'll pan back so you can see how far that Chao hit that home run. Almost got over that fence, but it was right at that gate where the service road runs down behind center field where that ball ended up.
Boy, did Chao do a great job of bringing his hands in and getting out in front of that pitch to rocket it to the upper echelon of that hill in right field.
And I'll ask Bob Gregg, who's seated next to me, and he's probably seen more Pony League World Series games than I have, and I know he has. Have you ever seen anybody hit one farther than that? One, he says, that went beyond that fence.
Here's a pop-up into shallow left center field, and Petrie, the shortstop, cannot make the catch. He tried to make an over-the-shoulder grab. Does not, and Lun Hui Chen is safe at first, 2 outs in the 4th inning. 10-0 Chinese Taipei, and
rightfully so, that's a base hit.
A base hit, but a play that could have been made. And against the backdrop of the 5 errors, we're looking at the totals. 10, 10, and 2 for Chinese Taipei. 005 for Mayagüez, Puerto Rico.
It would have been a spectacular catch by Petrie.
Pitch in the dirt, ball kicks to the right of the catcher, a wild pitch.
Bob and I always talk about, hit versus air, and he always quotes the book that says a play that requires routine effort, that would have been anything but routine for Petrie.
And for Mayagüez, Puerto Rico, bottom third of the batting order coming up in the 5th inning. Pitch is outside, ball 1. It started to get messy for Mayagüez, Puerto Rico on the second play of the game, or the second play of the bottom of the 1st inning. Fly ball, center field. Hufnell Rivera makes the catch. In the 4th, no runs, 1 hit, 1 left on. We'll go to the 5th inning. Possible last call for Mayaguez, Puerto Rico. Chinese Taipei leads 10-0.
Most kids around here, I'm seeing them pregnant, smoking, having guns in their hands. Just makes me think how lucky I am that I had Harlem Lacrosse to save me. We all have that one common goal, which is to win, to work together, to have fun. I want to go to college for lacrosse. I want to play for an Ivy League school.
Tell you what, this Pony League World Series starts relationships that last long after the games are completed. Got some great photos over the last several days. Fans have literally come from all over the world to cheer their teams on. We've had a great representation from the Puerto Rican contingent, from the folks representing Chinese Taipei. They've been here, they've been loud, they sing in great rhythm. It's been just a fantastic atmosphere here. The 64th edition of the Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series. 10s are the number so far for Chinese Taipei. 10 runs on 10 hits, and those 5 errors are long going to be remembered by this Puerto Rican team. They are down to their final at bat. Unless they score, it'll be over.
Getting ready for the top of the 5th inning. Chinese Taipei leading 10-0. And if Mayaguez, Puerto Rico does not score a run, this game will end after 4.5. Suzhou has not allowed a hit through 4 innings and has recorded 7 strikeouts.
I think we might be getting a pinch hitter here for Dylan Gonzalez. Indeed, we will. It's going to be
Sebastian Valentin?
Yes.
Well, Gonzalez, who hit a grand slam the first day of the tournament, is being lifted for the pinch hitter Valentin. Brian Soto scheduled next.
I think they've already indicated Joseph Ramos will hit for him.
Swinging a foul back, strike 1.
Well, and you like to see coaches do this. And I mentioned it last night. It's not as if you're sending up the white flag, but you want to get your players who haven't seen as much action an opportunity to bat.
Yeah, you'd certainly like to be putting in some of the guys that don't play normally, who play a lot in games where you're leading 10-0. No balls, 2 strikes on Valentin.
He's 1 for 3 in the series.
Here's Sue. 0-2 pitch outside, way off the plate again. You've seen that a handful of times today. The 0-2 pitch, fastball about a foot outside. Sue has walked only 1 batter. Pitch inside 2-2, and it was on the occasion when on an 0-2 pitch away, pendulum swung from 0-2 to 3-2, and then eventually a walk. And here it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Valentin. Swing and a miss, breaking ball down and away. The throw to first base from Tue Hung to complete the strikeout. 1 away in the 5th inning, 8 strikeouts for Suzhou. And remember, this Chinese Taipei right-hander has not given up a hit through 4 1/3 innings.
It will be Joseph Ramos batting for Brian Soto. Ramos 2 for 4 in the series, or excuse me, 1 for 4 in the series with 2 runs scored.
And then Kenneth Foltz to bat next. And the pitch. Called strike. 8 o'clock game, San Bernardino, California against Hagerstown, Maryland. 0-1 pitch. Inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ramos looked to the home plate umpire, trying to plead his case for a hit batsman, and certainly Mayaguez, Puerto Rico needs base runners. 7 strikeouts, 1 walk issued, 4 1/3 innings, no runs, no hits, swing and a miss, 1 ball, 2 strikes. This has been without question an impressive performance by Soo-Joe-See, mixing well, throwing strikes, spotting his pitches well. Pitch away, swing and a miss. Out number 2, strikeout number 9. 9 strikeouts. 2 in the first. Is that correct? Is that what you've got, Mark?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Matter of fact, when you said 8 last time, I had 7 and I recounted, and indeed you were right. 8, and that was 9.
And now Fulch. Strikeouts, 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth. Ground ball to third. This could do it. Third baseman Chen with a throw across. The ball game is over. Chinese Taipei advances to the championship game in the 2015 Pony League World Series by way of the 20th no-hitter in Pony League history and the 8th time that a Pony League pitcher has tossed a 5-inning no-hitter. Soo-Joe-See strikes out 9, no hits. Mayaguez, Puerto Rico, the final score, Chinese Taipei 10, Puerto Rico nothing.
We've been in your community since 1808. We've stood by your side covering the news of the day. We've been here for the important times in your life. We've celebrated with you. We're proud to have delivered the latest in local, regional, and national news in Washington, Greene, and southern Allegheny counties. We'll be here for the next phase of your life with our print and online editions. The Observer Reporter, life delivered daily.
Back here at Lou Hayes Pony Field, Chinese Taipei with a no-hitter from Soo-Joe-See, a 5-inning no-hitter. Chinese Taipei going to the championship game tomorrow night at 7:30 with a 10-0 win over Mayaguez, Puerto Rico. Coming up at 8 o'clock, San Bernardino, California and Hagerstown, Maryland. They played last night. San Bernardino won 2-0. They'll play again coming up at 8 o'clock. If San Bernardino wins, they go to the championship game. If Hagerstown wins, the two teams will play again tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 to see who goes to the championship game. Right now, let's go down to the field and Tony Caridi.
Thank you very much, Mark. What a performance by this Chinese Taipei team. They remain undefeated in this tournament with a very impressive 10-0 victory on a 5-inning no-hitter. And we are joined now by manager of this Chinese Taipei squad and Michael Chang, the interpreter. This is becoming a regular occurrence of having you guys here fantastic performance. If he could put this performance into perspective, it seemed as though they did everything right tonight. Obviously, the pitching performance and being very fortuitous in scoring the runs.
他说今天我们看起来就是一场很完美的比赛，我们什么都做了，都该做的都做到了嘛，对不对？不管是攻还是守，我们都是100分。然后你这边对这场比赛的看法是什么样？是你预期中的事情吗？
就是小朋友有坚持到最后，然后把这一场比赛做得很好，从第1局到第5局，表现得都很好，这样。
We asked them to stay focused from the beginning to the end, and they did that.
Certainly did do that. If he could, give us a comment on Suzhou C and his no-hit performance. He was in total control during the game. What was his expectation? He had not pitched yet in the tournament, and is that the way that he's been pitching here in tournament play?
那个今天若曦的表现非常的好，那是他自己预料中的现象吗？还有你对他的预期，也是他能表现做得到这样子的表现吗？
他今天的预期超出预期，这样啊，
对
但是他有做到一点，就是相信自己，一定做得到，这样，他做的也很好，这样。
He has been the number 3 pitcher on the team back at home, and I mean he has been very consistent, but this is something that he has never done it before. And coach, throughout the game, during the game, he told him to believe in himself, and then he did that.
Michael, I've got to ask you if he could make a comment, please, on that massive 3-run home run by Chao-Shi Che. Absolutely a blast of a shot. Is he that type of a power hitter, or was that an exception?
那个周世杰他打那支三分全垒打，他本来就是这种有能力长打型的打者吗？
一开始比赛比较没有自信，但是到了今天他表现得很好，也是他的能力有办法做到这样，所以他今天也是做得很好，这样。
He certainly has the ability to hit the ball hard, but at first, at the beginning of the tournament, he wasn't having that confidence coming into the tournament. But as we, continue to play more and more games, he feels like he's more comfortable with, with the weather, with the time difference and everything. Now he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Well, congratulations. You're on your way to the championship game tomorrow night. We wish you guys the best.
他说谢谢，那个恭喜我们，明天要晋级冠军赛，那明天祝我们好运。
Okay, thank you.
You betcha. Thank you. Congratulations. Chinese Taipei does it from the mound and at the plate. A very impressive 10-0 victory as they knock out Mayagüez of Puerto Rico. It's a final score, and Chinese Taipei remains undefeated. They will go into tomorrow night's championship game, which will begin at 7:30. And so the next question becomes, who will the opposition be? It could be San Bernardino. It could be Hagerstown, Maryland. Both of those two teams are getting ready to go here. Our 64th edition of this Pony League World Series really turning out to be a great show. We invite you to stay tuned. Our continuing coverage here on MLB.com.